Welcome everyone, I'm Kimberly Boschman and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energy and the numerology for the forecast for October 2021. Before we get into the reading, I just want to mention that this is a general reading. If you are interested in a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, so first we're going to take a look at the overall numerology and energy for the collective, which we are all a part of. Then we'll sort of take a deeper dive and take a look at the forecast for your life path number specifically. Okay, so welcome fall or spring, depending on what hemisphere you are, you find yourself in. October ushers in the slower, softer energies of the 6. Recently, we were under the influence of the 5 energy in September, which is much faster moving energy with plenty of twists and turns, as well as sort of profound transformations. It can feel very frenetic. It can feel like a lot of moving parts and a lot of things changing, and it's a big energy. And so stepping into the 6 universal energy throughout October allows for much more nurturing, much more soothing sort of experiences. With this 6 energy, family, home life, relationships, all kind of come into center stage to be looked at, to be experienced, to be worked with. So again, it's just a softer, slower energy, but there can still be a lot of transformations that come from it. So you may find at this time throughout October that new relationships form, okay? You may meet someone, you might find the courage to ask someone you feel a connection towards, you might ask them out. This is a beautiful energy for meeting a new partner. So put yourself out there. I'm a true believer that those souls that we have contracts with in this lifetime, romantic or otherwise, they will cross our path at the precise time that they're meant to. And we're not meant to force that, right? That's just my personal belief. I think that that's going to happen one way or another. That's definitely divine intervention and divine timing. But that doesn't mean that, we can't get out there and enjoy life and mingle and just have fun. So be open to who you meet under this 6 energy, because they may play a bigger, more significant role within your life than you could ever imagine. So this is a great energy for networking and making new friends or acquaintances, feeling that you're part of a greater community, even if it's a membership or an organization online. If it allows you to meet people that you might not have met otherwise because of location or logistics, then go for it. It's a great opportunity, and this is great energy to sort of take the reins in that, to take that, make that move. 6 energy is a big energy when it comes to domestic and community responsibilities. So you may find that loved ones, need more of your service at this time, or more of your energy and your time now. You may find that, you feel called to become more heavily involved with your local or greater community through maybe volunteering or philanthropy or some other means. So you just may feel that other people sort of need you more at this time, or require your services or your time, your energy, your resources, whatnot. And that can be friends, family, romantic partners, children, whoever, relationships, and, community in a greater sense. Okay. So just keep that in mind. As you move through October, healthy boundaries are going to be very, very important. I talk about healthy boundaries a lot when we talk about 6 energy as well as 9 energy, but especially 6 energy, just because 6 energy is so nurturing, such a giving energy, that a lot of times we can sort of get into a space where we're over giving, where we're over nurturing, right? Where we either become a burden to somebody else or somebody else becomes a burden to us. And so, but that's because we haven't set those healthy boundaries. So keep in mind as you move through October that healthy boundaries are going to be important. They're going to be crucial at this time. It's a beautiful thing to say yes to assisting another person, right? But when we overcommit or we fill our plate too full, then it can begin to feel like a burden, which can lead to resentment and lower vibrational feelings. So when this happens, we begin to lose sight of the motivation behind our initial actions. Something that stemmed from something beautiful like compassion, understanding, and kindness then turns to martyrdom and victimization. And so just continue as the month progresses to check in with yourself. Why are you saying yes to whatever this is? What is the motivation? Do you feel emotionally and or physically prepared to handle this commitment? If the answer is no, then saying yes will only lead to resentment or feeling taken advantage of. People may need you at this time, but it's okay to say no if you're not in a space or capable of stepping into that role at this time. So fill your own cup first before attempting to fill another's, as the saying goes. And there's no shame in recognizing that your own cup needs filling, right? A lot of times we want to pretend or feel like we can do it all and we can be everything to everybody, but that's not the case. And when we do that, we're actually hurting ourselves, and then we're hurting the other person through that experience. So really, it actually benefits us to be able to recognize when we are depleting ourselves and we need to fill our own cup up first. So if you're noticing that you're running on empty, or even that you're, getting close to that, take the time, set those healthy boundaries, check in with yourself, and see what are you capable of giving at this point in time and what are you not capable of. And there's no shame in either. You can't give to another what you don't have to give, no matter how much you want to or how much they want you to. So know and honor your own needs first. Also, honor the boundaries of another. If they ask for help, great. But if they decline your assistance, right? Like if you go to someone trying to help or, intervene or whatever the case may be, and they ask you to please not interfere, or, that they don't need your assistance or whatever the case may be, then honor that, right? Honor that healthy boundary that they are setting for themselves, without the need for an explanation, because it's not personal. So don't make it personal, okay? Just like you would want that person or other people to respect your healthy boundaries, you need to be sure that you're doing that for them as well. This can also be a time when relationships from the past resurface. So they can sort of come up to be healed at this time, whether that's energetically or the actual physical person re-enters your life for some reason. Pay attention to what surfaces for you this month around past hurts or conflicts or past experiences with another person. What are you still carrying with you that, can now be released to lighten the load? Is there something or someone that keeps coming up? And, where is forgiveness needed? And why is that person coming up? Why is that memory coming up, that experience coming up, right? And what is it bringing up for you? If it's coming into your awareness, it's coming into your awareness for a reason. And so instead of continuing to push it under the carpet, let it come up, let it bubble to the surface, explore it, see what it's trying to show you. Because again, is there something or someone that is coming up for forgiveness, right? Is there forgiveness needed? Is there something that you need to take a closer look at to heal so that you can release whatever this is and not carry it with you? This is a beautiful energy for really exploring what it is that you continue to carry with you that has well gone past the expiration date. Carry the wisdom of the experience with you and what you have learned from that experience, but not the actual burden of the experience. If that makes sense, okay? This is going to be a time where, again, if these past experiences show up and they trigger some kind of emotional response within you and they're not going away, they're staying within your awareness, there's something there that needs to be healed, that needs to be recognized, that needs to be worked through. And so honor that and see what you can come up with. And also, pay attention to the wisdom that you extract from that, because that is what you're meant to carry with you forward. That is what you're going to use in these next chapters that you embark on, right? So this 6 energy can also bring to the surface those things within the current relationships that need maybe, to be highlighted or need to be worked through or recognized or brought into awareness. So is there something that you and a partner, a friend, a colleague, or whomever keep sweeping under the rug and you're not discussing it because it's just easier to avoid it than to have an open and honest conversation about whatever this is? If that's the case, then you may find this month that elephant enters the room, sits down, and doesn't budge until you take the responsibility for working through whatever this is. No matter how challenging, no matter what the outcome may be, it's coming into your awareness for a reason, and it needs to be recognized and worked through so that you can move on from it, so that it's no longer taking up space within your energy, within your emotions, within your mind. You can work through it. Again, no matter what the outcome is, no matter what the resolution is. But sweeping it under the carpet is not resolution. That's not going to help you to move forward. Okay, so that sums up the energy for the collective for October. So let's take a look at your personal life path number now. Life path number 8. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all, and you got gecko spirit. And I love that you got gecko spirit. It's such a magical symbol of energy. It's beautiful, beautiful. And this is actually really perfect energy for 8s. So when I think of the gecko, or what immediately comes to mind for this reading, when I think about the gecko, I think about how he sheds his skin when it's time for some kind of rebirth, right? Some kind of regeneration or renewal. And he doesn't cling to the old skin, right? He doesn't try to keep on that layer. He knows that it needs to fall away. And so I feel like this is going to be a period for you all where you are shedding an old skin, where you are shedding a part of yourself that is no longer serving you. This is a time for rebirth, regeneration, and renewal for you. So if there's something that you have that has been a part of you for a period of time, but that just, it feels like you've outgrown it, it's no longer serving you, then this is going to be a time to shed that skin. And I feel like it'll happen sort of naturally or organically. The message is to not fight it, to not try to hold on to something that obviously is not for you anymore. That's coming in really, really strongly. So just move with the energy and, allow this time of renewal to sort of embrace you and to see where it takes you. This is definitely going to be a time of letting go of the old. And just remember, this is also, geckos and lizards, they actually represent magic. And so, the magic is within you. And part of that magic is manifestation. And, you have to take effort within the manifestation process, but knowing that you play a key role in manifesting the life that you want to see. And part of that manifestation process is releasing the old that no longer serves, right? Shedding that skin to make, so the new shiny you can come out and, take over the world or whatever, right? Like show your magic, shine your light, whatever. But I definitely get this feeling with gecko coming in that this is going to be a time of regeneration for you, some kind of rebirth coming in, shedding of the old to allow for the new, and to not fight that. Not to hold on to something that just isn't for you any longer, and not feeling any shame or guilt around that, because it's a very natural process, or it's meant to be a very natural process. This is you stepping into the next chapter. It's kind of like, I'm just seeing this energy of like you being at the end of a chapter and you keep rereading that last page because you don't feel ready yet to turn the page to start the next chapter. And basically Gecko's message is, you're ready, turn the page, stop rereading what you've already read, move on to the next chapter. So I feel that coming in pretty strongly, and I feel that coming in pretty strongly throughout the month for you. And so I broke the month down into 4 weeks, and just right out of the gate, we've got some kind of communication coming in, some kind of opportunity coming in for you, some insight some kind of download that's very fast moving energy. It's like you get the download, you take action, and you see this like manifest within your reality pretty quickly. And this is something that's going to bring you a tremendous amount of joy. This can be a relationship, this can be a career, a creative idea, whatever. But it's something that sort of like the inspiration comes into you. There's no hesitation. You take it and run with it, and you sort of see it show up within your reality pretty quickly. And again, it's got this opportunity to bring you a tremendous amount of joy. You know, I don't really see you fighting this energy. It feels really, really good. It feels really positive. I don't really see a need to fight it. You know, if you've got like some fears that you're working with or whatever, then that may sort of stand in your way. But ultimately, it's kind of like this feels like divine intervention, like something from the divine coming in, you know, being sent to you to enhance your experience, and it's going to bring you an incredible amount of joy. So just be open to it. Don't look for the other shoe to drop. Don't look for the reasons why it's not going to work. You know, just, you know, cut those stories out. They don't need to be there. They don't need to sort of rain on your parade. You know what I'm saying? It's like, allow this to come in. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Allow yourself to feel worthy of it, whatever it is, and just embrace it. And then we move into, and I know that sounds easier said than done, but, you know, find a way to make it happen. Because if you look for the negatives in this incredibly positive energy, you know, you'll find it. We'll always find what we're looking for. But why go there? You know, it's kind of like, why go there? Kind of shed that old skin. Then we move into the second week, and this is very, very creative energy. This is incredibly creative energy. It's almost like whatever came in at the beginning of the month for you, that first week, is assisting you in some big creative project or giving birth, metaphorically, to something that is going to allow you to step out from the shadows, that's going to allow you to sort of see much more clearly, that will have some kind of larger impact on your greater goal. And so this could be a download, although it's kind of like you getting this is kind of like manifestation embodied. It's kind of like getting the idea, figuring out how to translate that into the physical and making it happen. Or at least being able to get the download and start that process. You know what I mean? Like take the first steps. Definitely getting that very, very strongly. I feel like you saying no to whatever this is fighting against your nature, like fighting against your truth. And so this feels big. This feels like something that will take some, you know, some planning, some dedication and resilience. That's something also with the gecko, excuse me. That's something also with gecko. They're incredibly adaptive and resilient. And so I feel like this is going to be something that you're going to have to really embrace around the second week, because it feels really, really big. The energy behind it feels really, really big. And it's kind of like if you felt like you've been kind of walking through the forest and haven't been able to see the light because of the canopy of trees. It's like you come to a break where you're all of a sudden able to see the light. You're able to see things starting to open up for you. But you have to take the action, right? Like you are the conduit in this. You are the conduit between source and the physical reality. So, you know, you are source in human form. And so it's kind of like what you do with that energy. But I feel like it's going to be really hard for you to say no to whatever this is, because like I said, it's going to feel like you moving against yourself, right? And so this feels really, really good as far as making progress on an inspiration, life purpose, a legacy, something that you're trying to build. I feel like you're making some major headway here. Now, for some of you, this could quite literally be like, you know, you do give birth, you have a baby, and you're kind of, you know, you're growing your family or whatever the case may be. That's obviously also very, very possible, or finding out that you're pregnant or something like that. But it's a very feminine, maternal, creative energy. So this is like something coming from your inner womb, something that you've been sort of carrying with you, maybe even since birth, right? Like this is, you think of I don't know how the reproductive system works to the extent of how long we have our eggs, but I think I read something like for the female, they have the total number of eggs that they'll have in their lifetime. That could be wrong, but they're like there from birth type thing. That I could be very wrong on that. So don't quote me on it. But it's almost like whatever this is, whether it's like actually having a baby or, birthing a creative baby, it's almost like you've been carrying this energy with you from birth, and it's either at the point of sort of the inception, or it's kind of like you are ready to birth whatever this is. And so that's what I mean when I say this is a very big energy. It's a very creative energy. It's creating life force in some way, and something that will affect the greater community in some way. So this is really powerful energy, very, very big. So pay attention to what comes in for you. The first and second weeks of October, I feel like even if you're not seeing whatever this is in the tangible, the insight or the download is going to feel so aligned, so big for you that it's going to be almost impossible to ignore. I mean, you can ignore it, but it's going to be almost impossible for you to ignore. And that whatever that is, whatever that insight is, whatever that inspiration is, may kind of allow you to release that old skin, right? Like release that old side of yourself that you've been holding on to, but that's just not you anymore. That's just not a part of this process anymore. And if anything, is just kind of weighing down your journey. Then we move into the third week, and this is you sort of needing to make a decision about something. It feels like almost kind of like there's a little bit of heaviness around this because you don't know if you're making the right decision. You don't know, you feel like it's the right decision, but you don't have the external validation type thing from like the external world is not necessarily showing you 100% that this is the right decision. And so there's going to be this need to go within, to follow your own guidance, to take a deeper look at why you're hesitating or why you're saying no to something that you really want to say yes to, or vice versa, or whatever. But there's some kind of decision that needs to be made here, and I feel like you're creating heaviness around this. Your soul is kind of like, yeah, let's do this, where your ego is like, we need to have a safety net first. We need to know that it's going to work out, and there are no guarantees. That's something we learn through every trial and tribulation in life. There are no guarantees. It's like we can make the situation as comfortable as we can, and we can try to, right? But there's really no safety nets. Like you can create your own safety net. Like, okay, I'm going to do this until I have whatever, and then I'll make this leap of faith. I'll take this risk. But, the way the world works, it's like something unexpected could come in and take that safety net completely away. And then you're back to square one. And now you're going to delay that process even longer. This is a situation where it's like, you need to take a look at why you're saying no or yes or whatever it is to this situation, and really do some inner reflection on this to see, what do you want and what do you need to do to get there? And what do you need to say yes to or no to in order to get there? And then do that and sort of stop the stories, stop the doubt and all that comes in. Because like I said, any kind of like safety net is a false sense of security, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know that that's going to be there. You can trick the ego into believing that, okay, once I get this set up, I'm good to go. But, that's not the case all the time. Sometimes it is, but it's just not the case every time. So really, you have to trust you. You have to trust the inner guidance. You have to trust your sort of partnership with spirit to know that spirit always has your back. It's not going to set you up for failure. So this is a co-creation project, right? Your life is a co-creation project. And so trust yourself, trust the universe to release whatever it is that you need to release, and say yes to whatever it is that you need to say yes to, without trying to control the situation so much to where you feel quote unquote safe to say yes or no, if that makes sense. Fourth week, we have this energy around, it's interesting because I'm kind of seeing things pick up for you in sort of where it might feel a little bit chaotic. So you need to find your balance here. But I'm also seeing this like level of like patience coming in. Like you need to have patience around something. This feels very materialistic. This feels like around resources, around money, around, maybe like if you have your own business or you work for someone, maybe you went for a promotion and it sort of fell by the wayside and you haven't heard anything. And so instead of just giving up on it, just wait until you get confirmation. Wait until, don't create the stories. Don't beat yourself up. Don't, make it more uncomfortable than it needs to be. Just have that patience and allow things to organically unfold to show you what you're meant to see. You see what I'm saying? And so there's just this level of things might feel like they're kind of hectic. Things are picking up. You need to find your balance. But you also need to find that level of patience, not only with the external world, but with yourself, and understand that it's okay if it's taking longer than you anticipated. It's okay if you're not seeing the instant gratification. It's okay if you're not seeing those results that you thought you would see. That doesn't mean they're not coming, right? That means that things need to organically unfold. And the more you try to control it, the more you try to rush it, the more you try to create that situation to look exactly how you want it to look, the more chaos you're going to create and the more uncomfortable it's going to feel. And so there is this level of, to be more comfortable in the process, you need to step into some patience here with whatever this is. You have done your part, so allow the universe to do its part. There is such a thing as divine timing. And so allow that timing to work for you as opposed to against you, where you start to make assumptions or create these stories within your head that just makes the waiting process that much more challenging. But I'm also seeing, like I said, some kind of hectic energy coming up, or feeling like you have to sort of sacrifice yourself for other people, or I don't know, like there's like this energy of like people, which makes sense because we're in a 6 universal energy. So you may feel like people need you more at this time, or need your resources, or need your time or your gifts or whatever. And you may be that type of person that really wants to do that for other people, right? But I feel like there's going to be this need this month, especially for you to sort of draw a line in the sand and be like, I can give up to this point, but at this point I need to just have this time for myself. I need to pull back a little bit, and I can't be everything to everybody, or I can't show up the way that everybody wants me to show up. And honor that, right? And find your equilibrium within that experience. Find, when you get to that line in the sand, then honor that line and say no if you need to say no, So I think that's going to be really important for you to sort of maintain a healthy perspective on everything else that's kind of going on, so that you don't become depleted in areas that you really don't need to be depleted in. So again, just keep Gecko in mind this month. I think he's going to be a beautiful ally for you. Definitely, if you feel called to do some further research on the spiritual meaning of Gecko. They're just beautiful creatures, and they carry a lot of symbolism, spiritual symbolism, that I think is going to really help you through this month. But overall, really powerful, big energy coming in this month for you all. Can be around career, relationships, family, whatever, but it's definitely like you at the helm of your own ship, and making decisions that are going to steer you in the direction that is best for you. Not, worrying about how it affects somebody else, not worrying about what other people think, not putting all those judgments on yourself, not accepting other people's judgments, whatever. This is you at the helm of your ship, steering that ship in the direction that you feel you need to move into, and standing true to that. So powerful energy for powerful 8s. I hope it's an awesome October for you all. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye.